Good morning and welcome to Today in LA with Mike Amos. I'm Forrest Lee. We have Mike Amos, who
back in the fold
has returned from Orlando, Florida, on a great win for the Trojans, 18-12. Mike,
as great
good
a
morning.
win as great a win as there has been in the history of Troy University. Another big win for the Trojans as they came from behind like great Trojans do, and won the ball game. Of course, it was a thriller all the way. I was telling you coming in, the TV didn't show exactly what happened. After that game was over, we flooded the field. I'm telling you, it was 5,000 people at least hit the field. All Troy fans from Central Florida, a lot of them were not from Troy, or didn't live in Troy, but graduated from Troy.
Right.
But all of these tremendous fans hit the field, and it made for even a more exciting day as Troy beats Texas San Antonio 18-12.
Was it 12-0 at the half?
12-7.
12-7.
Troy scored right before the
yes, right.
before the half.
I saw an interview with Coach Summerall. He said, "Guys, we got them right where we want them."
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
Because they've come from behind for so many times.
Yeah.
But that great win for Troy University, and another number, 577.
And boy,
577
as far as tackles go.
career tackles for Cortland Marshall, the career leader in tackles in the NCAA history. 577. He wears number 2. He's from Mobile, Alabama, went to McGill Tulane.
I can see them putting that number 2 up in the Raptors to never use number 2 again. Could you see that?
Yeah.
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
We're talking about 577.
Carlton Marshall?
Yes, career tackles. How about a statute?
Yeah, well, I thought about that
Statue.
a long time ago. They got to put a statue inside or outside.
Yeah, I would
Or
think
some
that
bird.
maybe that they have used number 2 for the last time. What do you think? Put his jersey away. I don't know what they'll do. Of course, good.
You got a tight end that wears the same number, a duplicate number.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
He's the guy that Gunnar Watson tried to hit before the half for the touchdown, but horrible throw by Gunnar Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, how in the world Troy won that game with 166 yards of offense will go down in history as one of the greatest defensive masterpieces of all time.
Wait now, Mike. Now we passed for.
Win that game.
Now listen. Now we passed for 130, 113 or something like that, and we rushed for another 75 or so, did we?
Well, you had to factor in all the sacks.
Yeah, I know. That was a bunch of sacks. How many times did he get sacked? 7, 8 times?
I'd have to look up the numbers, but I mean, I'm talking about our offensive line got whooped in that game.
Yeah.
Our great offensive tackle, who's been all conference 2 straight years, Stenham.
Yeah.
He couldn't block anybody.
He's a big blonde-headed guy, isn't he? He's the big blonde-headed guy.
Yeah, he's the kid that's like the academic All-American.
Yeah.
He's been a phenomenal player, 4-year starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, KJ Robertson he was the MVP, 9 tackles and 1 interception. Carlton Marshall had 14 tackles. Gunnar Watson was 13 of 23 for 113 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. But the defense won the game with all the interceptions and turnovers.
But I will say this to give Stadium a little credit. This guy that nose guard was on him, and he was a great player. Their nose guard, and Well, I know, but I thought seemed like they must have moved him around a little bit because I know Stenham had to block him a lot too.
Yeah,
He might have been the tackle instead of nose guard.
they mighty big. They're still on the recruiting trail, and they got to close strong the next couple of days for this early signing period. But next year, on the second day of September, we host Stephen F. Austin out of Texas. And on the 9th of September, we travel to Manhattan, Kansas to play Kansas State.
Yeah.
Troy does.
That's who Alabama plays in the Sugar Bowl.
Then on the 23rd of September, Troy hosts Western Kentucky, and make your plans. On October the 14th, we travel to West Point, New York,
That'd
in
be
Mitchell
fun, yeah.
Stadium, to play the Cadets again.
Yeah, that's
Army
gonna be a
Cadets.
lot of fun. Yeah.
Troy
Dear Lord, let me make that trip. Let me make that trip.
Troy had 160 yards of offense, 47 net rushing yards, and they had 113 yards passing. Texas San Antonio had the ball. Yeah, they had 345
Yeah.
yards.
How long did they have the ball? You're right.
They only had the ball 26 minutes and 44 seconds. Troy had it 33 minutes and 16 seconds.
They had some
Troy had the
key.
ball longer then, didn't they? That surprised me.
They had key
Well,
turnovers.
That had to be mostly in the second half. Mostly in the second half did that occur, don't you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest play of the game was before the half when Watson throws the interception, and the guy, they reviewed it, and they said he called it, and somehow he lost control of the ball, and Ray J. Johnson, Troy's great wide receiver, recovered it, and then Troy ended up scored a touchdown on that drive.
How did that look on film, Mike? How did that look on film?
That was huge to get points for the half. I told my wife he took 2 steps after he caught the ball.
So did he tuck it? Did he tuck it? If he tucked it?
Yeah, he brought it in. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
thought it was the right
Oh yeah.
call.
Oh yeah. That might have been the biggest play in the game. You're right.
Well, then Troy gets an interception, gets the ball right back,
Yeah.
and has a chance to take the lead for the half, which has been a miracle.
Their quarterback was good,
and,
but
and Gunner throws another interception.
yeah. Let me say a little bit about their quarterback. Of course, he was a great athlete, no question about it. He didn't run near as much as I thought he was going to run because because of Troy's defense. But
He got hurt. He got hurt. Troy hurt him. He was limping on the sidelines.
I know they brought in a left-handed quarterback at one time because I remember watching him. But the quarterback though runs mostly a sprint out type pass. He'd have one guy go 10 yards and cut, the other one go 15 yards or 20 yards and cut. And he decided, in the first half, that's how they moved the ball, just throwing the short passes.
Well, Michael, you're in the lead after 9 games. You've missed just 2. Everybody else has missed 3. And my apologies to the Trojan fans, because I picked against Troy simply because of the offensive.
Everybody in Vegas was taking UT San Antonio as well.
So Vegas lost. Then Vegas lost.
That line switched from Troy being 1.5 to San Antonio being I think almost 3 at kickoff.
Yeah, right. I had a feeling that would be the case, and they were a very good team. I mean, hey, let me just say this: if we judged the game on being pretty, they would win pretty. They were big, huge, fine-looking football players, but they didn't play like
huge tight ends too.
Yeah, big old tight ends. That number 9, number 4.
Well,
yeah,
in the
greatest win I think in Troy history, in my opinion. I mean, to win a game where you only have 160 yards of offense, your defense play that phenomenal in a bowl game against a conference champion, to get to 12 wins, the most ever in Division I history, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Summerall and that staff, I don't know how we're going to be able to keep that full staff.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's going to be coming after these.
But let me ask this, and I love the guy. I really like him so much, but what does Craddock what do we say about our offensive coordinator?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying defensive coaches for sure.
Yeah, I know
a
it.
lot of people coming after that. But that offensive line coach, Coach Popovich,
he
turned that offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was their worst game they've had in a week.
Yeah. But they went up against a very, very good football team. They really did.
Yeah. Well,
and there's distractions being at a bowl too. You got a lot of stuff going on down there.
Well, let me ask you this. Then we had a great tailgate party for the team right before the game, and it was down in one of the nicest hotels in the area, and it was a wonderful, wonderful pregame kickoff for the all Trojan fans. Really a great tailgate party.
Well, after 9 games, you had UAB University of Alabama at Birmingham defeated Miami in the Bahamas Bowl, Miami of Ohio. In the Cure Bowl, again, Troy 18, University of Texas San Antonio 12. The Fenway Bowl in Boston, Louisville 24, Cincinnati 7. The Celebration Bowl in Atlanta, Dion goes out a loser at Jackson State. North Carolina Central, I believe that score was 41-34. In
Yeah, the tight end dropped the ball right in his hands at the end of the game. It should have went double overtime.
Yeah. BYU 24, SMU 23 in the New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque. Fresno State 29, Washington State 6 in the LA Bowl.
Fresno State won their last 9 games in a row.
They were good, yeah. They were really good.
Southern Mississippi defeated Rice 38-24 in Mobile in the Lindy Tree Bowl.
And congratulations to Southern Miss, but I don't believe they played much. Yeah, I thought that was they got lucky on who they got to play.
Rice was 5-7.
Yeah,
Southern
it
Miss
should not even been in the bowl game, should it?
No.
Yeah.
All right. Southern Miss running back Frank Gore Jr. set an NCAA FBS Bowl record with 329 yards rushing.
Can you believe that, Mike?
Yeah, I watched the game.
It was the highest single game rushing output for a FBS player this season. Also a record for Southern Miss Frank Gore Jr.
And your daddy was a great player for the 49ers for years.
How about on just 21 carries?
Oh,
Wow.
man. But, you know, Troy shut him down pretty well when they played him, didn't you think?
Yeah, I think he only had about 80 yards.
Yeah, but you know what? They put number 2 on him. Hey, you get what you do. You put number 2 on him, and he'll shut him down by himself, won't he?
Well,
Yeah, Rice came back and tied that game in the fourth quarter, so Southern Miss had to come back and win.
Yeah.
Boise State 35, North Texas 32 in the Frisco Bowl, and in Las Vegas, Oregon State 30, the Gators of Florida 3.
Got blown out, Mike.
30-3.
Boy, I mean, not just blown out, but physically manhandled.
And do you know what? Let me tell you this.
Oregon State's defense and offensive line is, just a whoop to that SEC team. But I found out Florida had transfers and opt-outs. 20 players didn't play that game.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh man, including the quarterback, didn't he? The quarterback didn't play either, did he?
They played their third-string quarterback.
Yeah. Well, you would have thought that the coach would have had a little bit more to say about it, but evidently he didn't.
Yeah, well, today we have the Myrtle Beach Bowl, Marshall versus Connecticut. That's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Need to get Johnny Williams on this.
That's Johnny. Yeah, I could call him this morning and see if I could get him. Yeah, we might try to do that.
Yeah, tomorrow there's 2 bowls. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, Idaho. Eastern Michigan versus San Jose State, and the Boca Raton Bowl in Liberty versus Toledo.
Now, how can I call a long distance to Johnny Williams on this thing? Can you give me?
If you'll give me his number, I'll text him and ask him to call.
All
this
right,
number.
okay, good.
We can do that during the.
Well, or we can just I can get him.
I don't know how to do it that way.
Interesting matchup with Connecticut. It actually made a bowl game. I don't know the last time Connecticut played.
Yeah, I know it.
Jim Moore's done an unbelievable job, and then Marshall beat Notre Dame. Troy beat Marshall, and then Marshall got red hot late in the year and finished 8-4.
Yeah.
So I would take Marshall today. I think that line's already up to 12.
Well, the Sun Belt's 2-0, right?
Yeah.
We're 2-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Go 3-0 today. Go Marshall.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Go Herd.
Marshall should beat Connecticut.
Yeah. But you know, he's done a great job with UConn, and that's what old UConn. Everybody says basketball, but their football team did well.
I talked to other people that went to the Troy game, Dad. They said maybe 10,000 people were there. Horrible crowd.
Well, I heard that Troy did not. And listen, this is what was told me by somebody supposed to know that Troy only sold 1,000 tickets, but I've heard that we sold 3,000. I heard, but listen, let me tell you this: there were enough Sigma Chi's there, Mike, to fill the stadium up for Troy. There were lots of Florida fans, you know, that graduated from Troy, that we're awfully proud. I was sitting with them, and gosh, they had a great time at the ball game. They sat where they everything they got was free. All they could drink, all they could eat, free, the whole ball game.
Right.
And those guys
Played
had a
in
great time.
professional soccer stadium. It looked really nice.
It was, and let me tell you, a beautiful stadium. They said it housed 25,000, but it looked bigger. It looked bigger. It was a beautiful stadium, and I can see them playing a lot of college games there in the future. But it didn't have a scoreboard, and I thought I thought it was poorly planned on how they were going to give away the trophy, because who is going to keep those Trojan fans off the field? And I'm going to say this. You might can say 10,000. Maybe it was that, but I'll promise you over 5,000 were on the field after the game, and had a ball and had a.
Fans get off the field.
Our chancellor and everybody was on the field. There was people. They wanted them off the field, but they didn't get them. The Trojan fans had over 5,000 people on the playing field after the game. And then they gave away the presentation anyway, and coach did a very good job of representing his team. And then we also interviewed number 7, Mike, and he had his little baby girl with him.
KJ Robertson.
Yeah. And he had his little girl with him, and he was the most valuable player.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do, Mike, to make him the most valuable player?
He had the interception return for 61 yards down there at the very end.
Yeah.
Huge.
And 9 tackles.
Well, I'll tell you who probably should have.
Troy had a goal line stand at the very end of the game, too.
And that's what I was going to say. The guy that
the running back broke loose. Dale Pettis made the tackle at the 5-yard line.
Dale Pettis saved the game because, and you know what? After I noticed that they knocked him out at the 2-yard line for us, I said to myself, this bunch is not going to score. That our defense, and that defense, you could just look at them and just say, hey, we're going to whip you. I mean, they had that kind of confidence. We're going to whip you. Line up, buddy. We're fixing to whip you. And that's exactly what they did.
That's predicated on the team,
heart,
on the your head coach.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. And the defensive coordinator has a lot to do with it too. And I thought he did a brilliant job of putting together a stand right there at the last.
Yeah. Dad, did Forrest tell you about what Charles Henderson did last week? They had a Spearman kid.
I saw that.
3-pointers in a game against.
He made how many 3-pointers?
10.
Oh God! How many did he score? How many did he make?
39, I think.
He scored 38 points. Cross scored 26 or 28.
How many threes did he have?
Cross had 6.
God,
now I went to the Charles Henderson Pike County game Saturday afternoon.
How did they do there? Pike County pretty good. What?
Charles Henderson 90. Pike County 46.
Golly.
The girls won. Charles Henderson girls won 49-30. JV boys won 43-31. I don't have any individual stats.
Well, let me ask you this.
They're fun to watch.
I'm going to see them the next chance I get. Let me say this. In that game, how many 3-pointers did they make?
I don't know. I don't have any stats, but it was so
Pike
fun.
County game, yeah.
They're interchangeable. Now, Ian Foster for Pike County.
Yeah, he's good.
He's all-state football. I've got the all-state teams here in front of me. But that rascal can jump.
Yeah.
He had a couple of dunks that his arm almost went down in the rim.
I've got to do something.
Yeah,
go
Charles
ahead.
Henderson is just so versatile and interchangeable. Everybody on the bench played. Everybody played.
Mike, let me tell you something. This guy can shoot threes like this. He could play for Troy right now. I'm talking about Troy University right now. And Cross, now is Cross a senior?
He's a senior.
Yeah.
Spearman's a senior.
Well, let me tell you this. Wouldn't you love to see those two guys that could shoot, could come to Troy? They could play right away, don't you think? If they can shoot the 3. Huh?
They need some 3-point shooters.
They sure do. They sure do.
Well,
Troy had a big win over the weekend. They won out Southeast Louisiana.
Oh, did they? Okay, that's great and everything.
and we play again. Let's see. I've got that in front.
Wednesday night at home against Mercer. Mercer's usually really good basketball.
Yeah, we play at 6 o'clock. So Troy defeated Southeast Louisiana 77-71. We'll play Mercer this Wednesday at 6 o'clock on the campus of Troy University. The women are 5-5. They're going to play Belmont tomorrow night in Nashville at the event center, 1 p.m. And for Belmont, we have Tootie Jones, a Charles Henderson graduate.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
She's averaging about 10 points a game, 5 or 6 assists.
Yes, sir.
So, they gave University of Tennessee all they wanted last year in the regionals.
Yeah.
Belmont did. So I'm sure there'll be a Troy contingent up there.
Now, when is Charles Henderson's next home game?
I don't know. I tried
don't
pulling
know
it
that.
up.
Okay,
They're
I got
playing this week in a tournament. They play someone today off, and then they play in the Eufaula tournament coming up.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a good one.
Now,
Eufaula's always good.
Ozark is ranked as their boys team is like in the top 4 in 5A.
Boy.
So when Charles Henderson and Ozark play, that'll be a
Do you
treat.
know what Charles Henderson's ranked? You don't know?
No, we're in the top 10, I think,
okay.
but I don't know what we're ranked. I don't have those
I'll tell you
rankings.
what, Alabama got exposed defensively against Gonzaga. Gonzaga shot 74% in the second half and won in Birmingham 100-90. The great freshman player Alabama, Brandon Miller, did score 36 points. Scored 36 points, and he scored the last 6 minutes of the game.
Oh, man.
But man,
They did
Alabama
not miss.
lost Burnett, their great defensive guard against Houston, and
What happened to him?
he broke his wrist. So
Oh,
they're going to be in
gosh.
trouble if they can't guard the rest of the year. And Gonzaga exposed them in front of 17,000 fans in Birmingham.
Boy, that was a big one, wasn't it?
Well, they couldn't miss a shot.
Well, I tell you what, the way the
Gonzaga.
temperature is going, we're looking at the coldest Christmas that we've seen in years, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I know.
Not only in Troy, but me and you got to go to Birmingham where it's even colder. They talk about, listen to this, they talk about either Thursday or Friday, we're talking about 0 temperature, 0 degrees.
Wind chill.
Wind chill, yeah. So it's going to be real cold.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Yeah.
Even down here at the beach, which is unheard of, 4 straight nights of freezing temperatures at the beach where I live.
Yep.
Well-
Before we go to the break, you want me to mention the high school
Yeah, let's do.
all-state players? Jawan Boyd for Charles Henderson, it was number 1 in first team wide receiver for 5A. Let me read some of his stats for the year. 60 receptions, 1,218 yards, 20 touchdowns receiving.
Oh, boy.
Along with 342 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He passed the ball for 89 yards and another touchdown. He returned 3 kicks for touchdowns, had 5 interceptions on defense. Benton Dunn was second team. He's the center at Charles
Boy,
Henderson.
congratulations, Benton. Congratulations.
Zion Grady on defense was first team. He had 103 tackles. Sophomore. Benton's a junior.
And listen,
Jawan
our
Boyd's a
prayers and
junior.
thoughts are with his dad, too, who's been sick.
I saw him at the game.
Isn't that
Yeah,
wonderful?
yeah.
All right, yeah.
Big Ben's doing well. He's on the mend. Zion Grady finished with 103 tackles, 35 for loss, 21 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 block kicks.
God.
Damian Hart, a senior, middle linebacker, 148 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, an interception. Parker Adams, the quarterback, honorable mention, 169 of 286 yards passing, 2,580 yards, 28 touchdowns. And Nicholas Pearson averaged, he was honorable mention as well as a kicker, 41 yards average punting with a hang time of 4.2 seconds. Pike County, Ian Foster, first team, and Keith Williams of Pike County. Foster had 38 catches for 900 yards, 19 touchdowns, 2 kickoff returns, 1 punt return for a touchdown. He rushed the ball twice and scored twice. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Ian Foster had 6 interceptions on defense. He returned 1 for a touchdown. And like we mentioned, Keith Williams was an honorable mention as a lineman. For Goshen, junior running back Jamari McClure was second team 2A, 1,100 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns. He also caught 12 passes for 348 yards.
Well, I tell you what, if you had Ian Foster on one end and Boyd on the other end, you'd have two of the finest receivers in high school football in this nation.
Yeah. And Ian is a senior. But for 7A, Mikael Johnson of Enterprise was All-State. Honorable mention was Aiden White of Enterprise. We've already mentioned for Eufaula, Yanze Pierre, Bama signee. He's All-State, first-team defense. For Ozark on defense in 5A, Carmelo Overton. He's a senior, first team. Coach,
Neither one of those guys, the Eufaula guy or the Ozark guy, did anything against Charles Henderson. I watched both those games.
Yeah. The coach of the year for 5A was Lee Osment of Arab.
No, all about it. Played at Alabama.
Lee Osment played at Alabama. Played
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah. Trent Taylor, coach of the year for Andalusia.
Wait a minute, I can't believe our guy wasn't the
Coach of the
5A guy.
Yeah. It was Lee Osment.
Oh boy. How could you not put our guy ahead of Lee Osment?
Well, let's go to
And
two.
right.
Yeah. Let's go to 2A. Landon Wright of Ayrton, first team wide receiver. Defensively, Ayrton had Christian Brown, All-State, as a defensive lineman. Highland Home had two brothers, Keldrick Falk and J.J. Falk, all-team.
Both of them.
First team All-State.
Yeah.
You had C.J. McNabb of Ayrton, first team defense. Bryce McKenzie of Highland Home, a junior. He's a defensive back. Ian Sin, a junior, 6'1", 160, first team defense. Bradley Thompson, he is a punter for Luverne. He was first team.
Isn't that something? That's great.
And
Luverne,
Luverne,
they need to look at a guy like that.
and Luverne had John Taylor, athlete, first team.
First team All-State.
Yeah.
Wow, Luverne's got a lot of guys, and they get knocked out in the first round, second round.
Yeah. G.W. Long, Tanner Patton, second team punter or place kicker. Highland Home had a defensive lineman. This kid, they say, is good too. He's a sophomore. 6'2", 210,
Yeah.
C.J. May. So remember that name.
Yes, sir.
So Forrest, did you not mention Grady? Was Grady not first team?
Yeah, I omitted him. He is first team defensive lineman. Yeah, I went over his stats. Zion had 103 tackles, 35 for loss, 21 sacks. He was first team, sophomore. For 1A, Alvin Henderson, the sophomore running back,
Yeah.
Elba,
Yeah.
first team. So was Josh Bunn.
Did he give any stats on
I don't have his stats.
Okay, yeah.
John Bush.
How can the Henderson kid move to Troy?
Yeah, I got him a job at K&W Plastics right now.
I tell you what,
His daddy a job.
somebody might need to look at that.
Yeah.
John Bush from Brantley, first team. He's a wide receiver. Also, Alex Wisecup from Elba, place kicker, first team. Second team, Jaden Parks. He's a sophomore quarterback from Brantley. Keldrick Brown, defense, second team. He's a senior. Also, Carmen Gray from Elba, defensive back, second team defense. Caleb Weed, Brantley, first team. Honorable mention, Romeo Presley of Brantley, offensive lineman. Kyle Smith from Elba. And in the AISA, the following players from Crenshaw Christian Academy were first team. Walden Mitchell, Drake Mills, and Braden Moore. Second team was Coleman Owens. And that's just Luverne, Troy, Elba, Goshen, and those folks. You can find that on alabama.com.
And we're going to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And, of course, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Santa's coming. Santa's coming. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting ready for Christmas. Remember to shop Troy this Christmas. Old Santa can getting ready. We'll be back to more of Today in L.A. with Forrest Lee after this.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Wallace Sandals Truck Line been in business since 1959 and we'll still growing. We've been in business since 1959 and we'll still growing. Wallace Sandals Truck Line. From 1959 to 2022, we'll still growing. How many years is that, Mr. Glenn? 63. Ricky, why this T680?
Got a nice digital dashboard, easy to read.
Man, Wallace Sandals Truck Line. We got competitive pay. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield. We can get you home. Wallace Sandals. Come drive for the best today. Wallace Sandals Truck Line.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
At cost plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
We're back.
Old Santa's getting ready, even in Texas. But look, I got to show you this. This Santa can dance now. I'm telling you, he can dance. Whoa, look at this guy, this Santa. Look at Santa shake a tail feather. Right here on our set of Today in L.A. with Forrest Lee. And I tell you what, we want everybody to think Troy this Christmas and buy your Christmas from merchants of Troy, Alabama, and Pike County. And, of course, back to our show, and, of course, we're excited about Christmas going on, and what a Christmas present Coach Summerall gave us with a big win Friday afternoon.
That's right. You know,
Did y'all see that pro game yesterday? I've never seen a game end that way before in my life.
All right, tell me
the
about
Dolphins. I mean, the Patriots.
The Patriots get beat.
Patriots and the Raiders. I mean, all the guy had to do was just go down. They're trying at the very end of the game. I mean, basically all you got to do is just go down. You go to overtime. But the guy laterals it back to the receiver. He throws it backwards, probably 20 yards in the air, to just the defensive end for the Raiders that's just standing there. Catches the ball, knocks Mac Jones to the ground because, I mean, the guy outweighed him probably about 50 pounds, and runs it in for a touchdown, and the Raiders win 30-24. You got to watch this play.
And the Raiders
Last play of the
last play of the game.
Craziest ending to a football game I've ever seen in my life.
They're tied, but he throws a pass. Jones throws a pass to one of his receivers, and he's bottled up. But he throws it back to Jones in a lateral and a linebacker interception.
and ran for a touchdown.
They lose the game. They would have been in overtime. So.
But, I mean, he threw it back 20 yards. So, like a guy that was just standing there all by himself. Nobody was even around him about 20 yards.
You know, that really hurts.
I guess he was trying to throw it back to Mac Jones, but
He was.
Well, I'll tell you this. That loss really hurts the Patriots, and I think it's going to get them out, keep them out of the playoffs.
It could.
I tell you who can't lose right now is the Lions. I think the Lions won 6 in a row.
Yeah, that's right. And but Mac Jones, bless his heart, They led by 7 points with 3 minutes left to play in the game. How did the other team come back?
Raiders scored a late touchdown, and then basically New England's just trying to get field goal range, and time ran out. Next thing you know, the lateral went backwards.
Yeah, and he probably walked in the end zone, didn't he?
Oh, he did. It's a play you got to watch. I've never seen a game end that way.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, all he had to do is hit a knee, and they'd gone into overtime. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Here's what I read this article about captains in the National Football League. Listen to this. Josh Jacobs for the Raiders.
Alabama.
Okay. You have the Washington Commanders defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. These are from Alabama. Pittsburgh Steelers running back Najee Harris is a captain. Tennessee Titans running back Derrick Henry. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Chicago Bears safety Eddie Jackson. Denver Broncos safety Kareem Jackson. New England Patriots quarterback Mac Jones. New York Giants safety Xavier McKinney. New York Jets linebacker C.J. Mosley, and Miami Dolphin quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. They're captains for their team. That's 11 captains.
That's phenomenal.
One team. And
somebody ought to show that to somebody because, especially these recruits coming in, that there's leadership that comes through University of Alabama.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Tua didn't want anything to do with that snow once it started snowing the other night. My goodness.
Yeah,
it was coming down like I've never seen it in a game.
I know it. And they got beat, didn't they?
Yeah, I only got beat by 3. It played pretty good up until then.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how in the world they could even see, because the Dolphins are wearing white jerseys. I mean, and it snowed so hard. I don't even know how he could have thrown the ball.
Yeah, I know it. I saw some of that,
and you got to go through Buffalo probably to win it all. There, Kansas City.
Buffalo's going to win it all. I don't see anybody beat Buffalo.
Well, give us an idea. Now, we're not going to select these on our Pickett show until Wednesday. Wednesday's our final day for the Pickett show. And tell us some of the...
we're already, to the 28th, 29th in games?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll do the Pickett show on Wednesday. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah, I got to travel to Birmingham that day, so that's fine with me.
A little bit on the college scene, JoJo Earl, who played for Alabama last year, committed to TCU.
That's
so
right.
He's going to play at TCU. Yeah, and also in college football, Ohio State lost a quarterback that had originally committed to Ohio State. Now he has backed out, decommitted. But when Ohio State was in the running, Oregon was in the running, Southern Cal was in the running, and Georgia was in the running.
Yeah.
So is the quarterback from Georgia coming back?
I would think so. He's not going
to go.
He's 25 years old.
I know, but he's not going to make it in the pros, I don't think.
All right, Southern Cal.
No, I'm just saying his eligibility's out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Southern Cal, that quarterback will be coming back. Bo Nix is coming back
for
Oregon.
That, yeah.
And so there's no telling where this kid's going.
2 Alabama transfers going lose too.
Yeah.
Who is that?
I got 2 transfers going to Oregon from Alabama.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And Oregon,
the biggest news of the weekend is Bryce Young and Blake Anderson are going to play.
No, that's great. That's great.
Will Anderson. Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Will, yeah, well.
Who'll be the quarterback? Big boy?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Bryce is going to play?
Yeah, he and Will Anderson are playing.
I did not know that. Gosh.
Alabama's got no opt-out.
I am tickled.
The one concern that Nick Saban, they got 5 linemen who have opted out, but they still got like 11 or 12 on the roster. Yeah. So they should be okay. And Oregon has a tight end named Cam McCormick. Oregon has a tight end, Cam McCormick. Yeah. He has been granted another year, his 9th year of eligibility.
Oh, that is unreal.
He had season-ending injuries, the COVID, and he has been granted by the NCAA a notice. His ninth year.
Oh,
Next
God.
year. He's 26.
And who's he
he's
play for now?
Oregon. He's
Oh,
a tight
God.
end.
Isn't that unreal?
Yeah,
That
it'll
is-
be interesting to see, of course, the tackle record for Marshall. How many guys will have a chance of that in the coming years? Because I don't know if you heard this stat, but Virginia, due to the tragedy at Virginia, they'll have every single one of their guys back next year. The NCAA granted every single one of those players an extra year to play because of the tragic shooting there. So
Mike,
I don't know how long. I don't know if Marshall's record will ever be broken, but some crazy situation with somebody been on the play 6, 7, 8 years. You never know.
Mike, I don't know if you read it in the Troy Messenger this weekend. They got commitments from the 2 players from Catholic High School and the quarterback who is just a junior. Mike, did you see the stats on that quarterback?
Yeah, I don't.
How many touchdown passes did it show him throwing? 42. I want to say he threw 42 touchdown passes, and he ran for something like 10 or 12 more. I mean, and this quarterback has committed to Troy, but he's going, he's going to be a senior next year.
Yes. Well,
I mean, what does Troy do at quarterback next year? I mean, Watson
is coming back.
And
was very average to say the least.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Somebody in battle for that job.
I know that says that he is coming back, and
I mean, Troy is going to lose a lot of great defensive players. I mean, there's so many guys that Troy's going to lose. I mean, I know they're going to be able to get guys out of the portal and junior colleges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get better offensively next year.
Yeah. But one of those kids from Catholic was their great receiver, and he is coming to Troy, it says. And then it also gives about 10 or 11 more players that have committed to Troy that they've signed. They've actually signed.
What about Bear Bryant Jr., Paul Tyson, that played at Hewitt Trustwell? He's in the portal again. You think UAB or Troy would want him?
I don't know. It would be great to have Bear Bryant's grandson play for you, but I don't know.
TCU, their quarterback is going to the NFL. Dugan.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
But hey, let's go back to the NFL. Yesterday, the Indianapolis Colts were leading 33-0 at the half over the Minnesota Vikings.
Saturday, I watched it.
Saturday.
Isn't that unreal?
They were leading 33-0. Indianapolis was beating Minnesota. Minnesota came back and beat them.
At Minnesota.
Came back to beat them. Isn't that unreal?
That's the largest comeback in National Football League history.
Isn't that something?
And the quarterback for Indianapolis is Matt Ryan, the same guy who had a big lead in the fourth quarter against the Patriots to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, gosh.
Same guy.
Isn't that something? That is something.
Yeah, I watched that game. I was at a local establishment down here, and there's actually some Minnesota fans over there, and they were going absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Of course, I want to mention the Witherington Group. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. See Perry Green at the Witherington Group right here in Troy, and we appreciate Johnny and all the great staff people at the Witherington Group. Plus, I saw all the folks from Troy Regional Medical Center at the ball game. Rick, I saw Rick there, and of course, he's the CEO of Troy Regional Medical Center, and supporting the Trojans all the way.
Well, World Cup playing soccer. This is my favorite time of year.
Yeah, now let's talk about it. Yeah.
Is Argentina and France tied 3-3, and then they went to the penalty kicks, and Argentina defeated France in penalty kicks 4-2. You have Lionel Messi, who's like 36 years old. He wins his first World Cup for Argentina, and there's a guy by the name of Mbappe.
Yeah.
I probably didn't pronounce that right. I think he scored like 4 goals he did the hat trick in regulation. No, well, it was tied. Argentina was 2-0. And then late, France scored like 2 goals within 2 minutes by Poppy. And then they went into the overtime. Messier scored. And then Poppy.
Now, was that a free kick?
Is
that what that is?
No, he scored close.
Oh, okay.
But on a penalty kick or a free kick, the Mbappe tied it up 3-3.
Yeah.
So they go to penalty kicks, and Argentina won 4-2 on penalty kicks. Both Messier and this Poppy, they went.
Yeah.
You alternate, and Poppy hit his, Messi hit his, so it was 1-1 in penalty kicks, and then they ended up winning 4-2 in penalty kicks, and that was played in Qatar.
Messi's 36 years old.
36 years old. Won his first
yeah, he's going to play for Miami in the American
Soccer Federation.
Soccer Federation, yeah.
So
yeah, he's the guy that a lot of people look at him and Ronaldo. I mean, they compare them to almost like a Pele. They're like some of the greatest players.
Now, Steve said he watched every bit of it, but see, Steve was raised over in Europe, over in Germany, and playing soccer. He didn't even know what a regular football was. Steve, of course, Steve loves his hockey. I know. I mean,
another call.
Loves his.
You go to Red Bar. You go to Red Bar in Grayton. That's all they have on is soccer.
Hang on, just a minute.
Yeah, because. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Welcome to Today in L.A.
Hey, Forrest, Will Matthews. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. We got Big Mike with us.
Good. I drove.
Will Matthews, Will, did you have to have security walk you out of the casino?
I tell you what, it was fun.
I tell you what, buddy, that picture you sent me, you really did have a good day.
I did. Hey, Michael, I'll tell you what I did on football yesterday. I had every game I bet I won except one, and that was Dallas. And Dallas was up 27-10 and blew it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you can legally do that down in Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I drove.
Good for you, man. I'll tell you what, I was jealous when I saw that picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I bet you were excited if you had the Raiders.
You know what? That was. I did not watch the game, but I did have the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders were a 2-point favorite. Of course, they went on the last play of the game on a miracle. I mean, I've never seen a game end that way.
Well, I saw they were 14 points ahead, and I quit watching it.
Yeah.
Well, you did see how it ended, did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, you got to go watch SportsCenter. It's all over national TV.
Yeah.
How far out were they when they scored?
No, it's laterals.
They did the laterals.
New England did the laterals, and then a guy throws the ball across the field about 30 yards. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy for the Raiders is just sitting there and catches it.
Walks in the end zone. Yeah. It's me, Will. It's me.
I wish Steve could pull that play.
They were tied, but on the last play they were trying to get. They were tied, and Jones throws a ball to get them in field goal position, but the time ran out. But the receiver was running around, so he throws it back 20 yards or so toward Mac Jones, but a Raider intercepted it, and it ended the game on that interception return for a touchdown. Otherwise, he should have just dropped to his knees and went in overtime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The receiver for the Raiders made a he made a bad mistake.
Yeah. I bet he got an earful when he got back to the dressing room.
Greed is a powerful thing, I guess.
Yeah. I rode through Ozark last night, and from the car dealerships from Gillen and all the way through, Ozark shows real good at night. Beautiful shopping and everything. Ozark shows very good at night.
Go downtown and see the Christmas lights downtown.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
Well, let me tell you where you got to go. You got to go to this. Downtown Brundage has the best Christmas decorations that they've ever had. They've added to it a lot, and it is worth driving to Brundage and to see their beautiful Christmas lights. Have you ever seen Brundage's Christmas lights?
Oh, I saw somebody that thinks the world of you Saturday night at a wedding in Birmingham.
Oh gosh, who was that?
Steve Flowers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know Steve very well. Everybody knows Steve. Yeah, he's a dear friend of mine.
They call him.
Yeah, he told me he's got a house in Birmingham and a house in Troy,
That's
and
right.
he goes back and forth. You know,
And what wedding was that you went to?
it was. Do you remember Fernie Johnston and?
Oh yeah. The knee specialist, old man Fernie Johnson is a legend.
Yep, he's still alive. He's 92, I think. His wife's 91.
Yeah.
But their daughter got married, and their son is married to my sister.
Okay. So you are pretty close to it.
David Johnston in Dothan is married to Maureen, my sister.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. And so she married into a pretty good family, didn't she? And he married into a very good family.
Yeah.
And,
Will, what did you think when you heard that Bryce Young and Anderson were going to play? Alabama's not going to have any opt-outs for the game. Is that shocking?
Well, Michael, I paid $250 for my tickets to the Sugar Bowl. That's regular price. $250.
they just went up. Yeah, they just went up.
Tickets now are probably worth $750.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? And you know, when he left the field the other night after that game, you know, and he said goodbye to the crowd, that we had all thought we had seen Bryce for the last time, but not so quick.
I mean, how would that work, Will? Would the university pay Lloyd's of London for an insurance policy?
Right. They've got both of them have an insurance policy that would cover their rookie contract if they got hurt in the game.
That's what I figured.
And plus now,
They're insured, so
Yeah.
So that would pay them close to $15 million, probably.
Yeah, whatever their first year salary would be.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now, what do you pay about, you know, all his sponsors? How do you pay for his sponsors?
Name membership license he has already paid.
Oh yeah, he's already made that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both millionaires already.
Yeah. And both of them will be about the top 5 picks. Don't you think they'll be about top 5 picks or what? Or do you,
Bryce Young's number 1 and Anderson's number 3.
so top 5, yeah.
But you know, if I was Bryce Young, I would not want to go to Houston.
You would play for horrible offensive line.
Yeah. Well,
They're awful.
yeah.
You know Bryce Young probably wants to go back out west.
Yeah. Did you watch Troy play any, Will? Did you see Troy play? I bet you had the other side. I bet you took the other side.
No, I didn't either. I didn't Troy.
You did, boy. I tell you what.
Yeah, Michael told me go with Troy, so I went with Troy. I didn't know who to the other team, 12-0. I didn't like it.
I know you did.
I think who ought to be ashamed of themselves, UAB. I mean, UAB should have beat Miami of Ohio by 30 points.
Yeah.
I mean, the talent level on the field that UAB had compared to Miami is unbelievable. How that was a close game.
Of course, UAB.
They did not cover.
Oh, I know they did, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you looked at them, the rosters on the field, like a MAC team had no business playing UAB that game.
No, you're right.
Brian Benson, I mean, there's reasons he didn't get the head coach job. I mean, I know he finished 7-6. We're big fans of Brian, but I mean, with that roster, they should have won so many games. They were 0-5 on the road this year.
Yeah, that was bad. You're right.
You know, I think the new guy coming in is going to be a good coach.
Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pro guy all the way, isn't he?
I think he's a recruit, too.
He was a high school coach.
Yeah. Now Dilfer though is the former pro player though, isn't he? Trent Dilfer is.
Yeah. He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. And that's going to be interesting. I hate to see Brian Benson go though. He's a great guy. Now, how about the running back? Where's the running back?
The thing about Dilfer, he's reputedly the worst quarterback ever to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The great running back didn't even play in the game for UAB. The rest for 170 yards.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
He
that.
didn't play. So that's the thing of these bowl games. You got to know who's playing.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right.
His defensive coordinator is Sion Tuofatu. Is going to be the defensive coordinator for the Blazers. I pronounced that wrong. I know I did. Sion.
He was his high school defense coordinator.
And Alex Mortensen is the offensive coordinator.
He was the offensive analyst at Alabama. His dad's the ESPN guy, Chris Mortensen.
Oh, is he? Okay, now we know the rest of the story, don't we?
Yeah.
We'll see a lot of them on ESPN.
Of course, we got signing day tomorrow, don't we, Forrest?
Yeah, that's it ends the 20th. Will they sign tomorrow or the next day?
Mike Troy's already got 11 signings. From what I gather, Troy has 11 signees, Mike. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you're basically, what you're seeing in colleges now, they only sign about 10 guys because they're waiting on the transfer portal guys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All the junior college guys, because now the portal deadline is in January now. You gotta, if you're going to leave your school, you got to leave by, I think, January the 20th.
Yeah, oh God.
It was May last year, January this year.
It was like a 45-day window.
So
I don't know what that is now.
That's a big difference this year. You gotta, if you're going to leave, you got to leave now.
But doesn't
Michael, look up the line on Alabama, Kansas State. See what it is now.
I'll look at it.
It was 2.5 last week before the announcement.
Yeah.
Probably about 8.
I wish I could have got it at 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people probably did.
Yeah.
Now, and of course, we've got a lot more bowl games to pick, and we're going to be doing that on Wednesday. So
You got Marshall versus UConn today.
All right.
I don't know what time. See, I can look up what time it.
It's only gone up to 5.5.
But it's already jumped 2.5 points then.
Yeah, today you got Marshall, UConn.
That's at 1:30.
1:30 on ESPN. Marshall is 11.5 favorite.
Yeah, I figured that.
How's this though, Will? 11.5 point favorite, but the over/under is only 40.5.
40.5. Who is that?
Marshall.
That is one of the lowest over/unders I've ever seen in a college bowl game.
That is
college game period.
Isn't that something?
Playing in Myrtle Beach.
And that,
Well, if we win 21-7, that'll be it. 21-7.
40.
yeah. Well, we'll try to talk to Johnny Williams tomorrow if we can, and of course that's going to be a big game.
Go ahead and wrap it up. We're done.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us today on Today in L.A. with Mike Amos, and I'm Forrest Lee. I want to thank Will Matthews for calling in, and Michael Jr. for calling in Florida. You got just a few days left till Christmas. I want to thank Chrysler, Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, and Jason Gregory and his staff.
Yeah,
We
my
hope
good
you have
buddy.
a Merry Christmas and a safe holiday. Get ready to bring your plants in and your pets. And we'll see you bright and early in the morning on Today in L.A.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So